exciting episode of the Andre the Beast Creighton Show with Yolanda M. Smith, the Brancatus. It's a beautiful day outside, and I am pleased to have by Zoom all the way from North Carolina, not Miami Vice, but the one, the only, the best top band going today, streaming on all the social medias, no other than the one, the only, Major Vice. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, thank you, Andre. Good to be here, man.
Great. I'm glad you guys were able to come on. I know you got a busy schedule going on. You guys are performing like crazy. Every time I go on social media, you guys are performing and making people smile and dance and the whole 9 yards. And I'm glad you're here to share the story with me. So look, this is how we're going to do this. I was telling Deborah, I said, how do we do a show to make a show really interesting? So I got to thinking. I picked out 28 questions. I sent them to Deborah. I'm like, okay, pick out some questions. Because I looked at all 28, and trust me, they were all great questions. So she picked out 8. We're going to address 8 questions today with the one, the only group of the century, Major Vice. So we're going to start out first with an introduction to each one of the Major Vice's band ensemble. So let's start with the drummer, because I know the drummer. He looks like a drummer.
Hey, my name is Mike Ropelewski, and I am the drummer of Major Vice.
And here's my next guy.
Yeah, I'm John Sandru, that is, and I am bass player.
And we know who's this lady?
I'm Deborah Riley, I'm the singer.
And the next guy.
I'm Monty Carroll, I play keyboard. We got Bill Hood, guitarist, and backup vocals.
Right. So before I ask the questions, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the drummer. Tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into the band, a little bit about just who you are in general.
Oh, okay. I have started with Major Vice 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah. During it was maybe right before COVID, and I've been drumming ever since. We actually played through pretty much regularly through COVID.
Really?
I've been playing drums since I've been 7, 8 years old, and just love what I do here. Love playing with the band. These guys are great people. They're all my friends. Other than being fellow musicians, we're friends as well. So very enjoyable.
That sounds like a winner. Next guy, tell me what's going on.
Hey, I'm John. Again, I'm the bass player, and I founded the band. I'm the only original member over the years. It's been through a lot of changes. The band started in December of 2012, and I've been keeping it going, through the years with various personnel that have had to leave the band for, family or personal reasons. But me personally, I started off as a kid like everybody in school band playing the old saxophone, and just stuck with it ever from there,
You got a lot in common. I played the bass and the sax. I started out just like you, so we're going to definitely go with you. Deborah, tell me about you, like we already don't know.
I started singing with Major Vice about a little over a year ago. I'm new to the whole music community. I've only been singing for about 7 years, but having a great time.
I like that. All right, my Mick Jagger look-alike.
I'm Monty Carroll. I'm a keyboard player. I'm a classically trained pianist. So I've been playing all my life. I've played in rock and roll, smooth jazz, R&B, funk, a little bit of country. But I had the opportunity almost a year ago to join Major Vice, and I'm so glad I did. It's an absolute pleasure playing with these talented and fun guys.
Sounds like a winner. I like that. Last but not least.
Guitar player on last. Joined the band, I guess, 3.5 or so years ago, right before the pandemic. Again, great people to work with and to be with and be on stage with and to be a part of something that's so exciting. Both we put the work into it, don't get me wrong, it's so exciting to have just this natural flow between us and we're playing. And that and the audience, the electricity that we get back and forth with those guys just makes it such a pleasure. I got to back up and tell you that I started playing drums when I was about 9 years old.
Uh-huh.
Played drums until I was about 15, and I figured out at one point, the drummer's always at the back of the stage. The guitar player is where the girls are. So I'm going to play the guitar. And then you play with guys like this beast over here that love Mike. So.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with the question and the answers. This is like a Jeopardy show. So we're going to start with the first one. And the first question, either anybody can answer this or all of you guys can answer it. No, it's going to my man, the bass and the sax player. What is the story behind the band?
Well, as mine says, most of us have been in and out of bands for years, and so when I relocated here, the first thing I did was hit the ground running, looking for bandmates and a new project, and so I reached out to local venues, other bands, went out to see them play, and that's how Major Vice kind of originated, just through the local community. There's a really great community here, and we're really glad to be part of that. And so the Major Vice story is just really a small ripple in a big pond of music here in Raleigh. So
You said you landed in Raleigh. Where were you originally from, and were you involved in the band previously?
Oh yeah, I grew up near Cleveland, Ohio, and I've been in and out of a lot of bands, rock bands, jazz band. I played in a playhouse and some pit bands for various shows. So I'm pretty much not a lot of country. I think Monty's maybe the country, but yeah.
What part of Cleveland? What part of Cleveland area? What areas of Cleveland?
East side of Cleveland, Willoughby, Mentor. Yeah.
Okay, I lived in Avon Lake.
Oh yeah, that's just on the other side of town.
Yeah. So you went all the way from Cleveland to North Carolina?
Yeah, by way of the South, Mississippi mainly, Florida.
Okay.
I'm just military, so it's a long 30 years that brought me here about 10 years ago.
So to keep the question aimed at you, this is your band. Did you have a Major Vice in the Ohio region, or what was that band like? And going from there to where you at now?
Well, we were kids then, and the band was really a bunch of high school buddies at the time.
What was the name of the band?
Nightwing.
Okay.
Yeah, and of course we had this baseball jersey T-shirt.
Yeah.
Bird on it. It was kind of crazy, first song I ever learned to play was Cat Scratch Fever by Ted Nugent. That was cool. I was guitar then, but we had 3 guitar players and no bass player, so I switched over to bass, and it's what I've been doing ever since I about 12, 13 years old.
What makes this band different? You went from a teenager to where you're at now. What's so special right now? You said you went through different individuals coming and going.
The talent level of this band, I mean, individually, there's not a person in this band who couldn't make their living playing professionally. None of us do that,
right.
But everybody who's in this band is a master of what they do, and so we, talent-wise, have what it takes to be out there touring at a pro level, but we choose just to be buddies and keep it fun. So
I'm going off script for a little bit, Deborah. I'm gonna get to all your 8 questions. Trust me. Still going with this. What have you seen? You guys have all been musicians for quite some time, and I'm pretty sure you guys have other professions as well. But my question is, what's different? What have you noticed different with playing live versus what we hear on the radio and so forth? Because trust me, I love Metallica and Pearl Jam, and I would love to hear that kind of music again. So from you guys, and either one can answer this question, what's different now? Why have we lost that inability to show our talents that you can play the drums, you can play the bass, and you can sing, and you can come together and make beautiful music? Anyone can take that question.
I mean, I think that just music in general has changed. You know, younger generations, they're playing a lot of synthesized music or, recorded music. There's not, I mean, even in this community, most of the bands are all people our age. You don't see a lot of there's a few younger bands, but I think that, and then we get these young people at our shows that will Shazam our songs.
Right.
They'll be like, oh, what is this song? And we'll be like, it's Journey. So I think that the rock and roll era has changed significantly, and I think we're all just kind of doing what we can to keep it alive.
What does that mean? They should Shazam you. I remember Shazam. That's a superhero. That means like, wow. You know, what does that mean?
Little app that you can hit it and it'll tell you what song is playing. So they'll be like in the audience listening to our songs and they'll think they're new songs and they Shazam them and find out it's like Journey and Fleetwood Mac and Metallica. And it's
who doesn't remember Journey? You know,
yeah.
I'm gonna go with the next question that Deborah choose to pick out of my list. What other artists or band do you guys draw your information from? Somebody better say Journey.
Boy, that list is so long.
Yeah, it's definitely like a kaleidoscope or some kind of amalgamation of just a vast number of bands, because we cover songs anywhere from Shania Twain and Taylor Swift all the way to Metallica and Rage Against the Machine and pretty much everything in between. So we pull from all those different types of styles.
And I think too, for me individually, like I grew up with Roberta Flack, Aretha Franklin, Janis Joplin. So those kind of women, along with Christy Hines, Stevie Nicks, those all had Nina Simone, huge influences on me in terms of vocal styling and that kind of thing.
What about the style of the pianist, symphony type? The music starts with Bach, Beethoven. How are you bringing that into your music? I mean, you don't want to leave him out.
I think what I try to bring to the band and to the show is making the sound authentic.
Right.
It be with the traditional keyboards like piano and organ and Rhodes and Wurlitzer, but also if the song has strings and orchestration,
right,
I can play that. If the song has marimba, for instance, or whatever, I have those patches on my keyboards that I can bring and make the sound as authentic to the original recording as possible, and the audience will appreciate that.
Let me ask my lead guitar player something, then I'm gonna ask my drummer something. What do you bring when you're playing music? I'm gonna see if me and you on the same page. What is your favorite lick? I hope that it's the same person I'm thinking. When you're playing that guitar and you're up there, Jimi Hendrix got his little thing that he does, Boosie got his little signature call. What signature call do you like out of the musicians that play that particular electric guitar?
So when I was coming up, this is middle of high school, right?
Yeah.
Kind of that. A lot of Stones.
Okay.
Jeff Beck, Larry Carlson. Some of these guys were unattainable for me at the time, but I appreciated so much what they did. I would pick up all their bits and pieces that I could do.
Uh-huh.
Kind of amalgamate them together to hopefully bring something new to the table. So it's an influence of all of them together.
Right.
But I haven't had formal training. Didn't go to Berkeley or GIT, any of the schools for it. So hopefully what I bring is something, a little bit of each one of those players that I picked up along the way and can bring some of that originality meshing them together.
Do you bring in that Peter Frampton funk to the table?
Such a good player. They got musical influences. One more recent influence for me is Bela Fleck.
Yeah,
With those guys.
yeah,
So original in how they approach music. It's not just about the note they play, it's sometimes about what they don't play,
right.
or what they play. And that's so much fun for the musicians in us. Don't get me wrong, everything we do is a challenge. We work hard to get it to an original sound, to get it to really represent well.
Right.
It's covered what we got to do. But we pay as much attention to what we don't play as what we do play.
Okay. Now let's go to the man that really rocks the world. You can't have no music until you start out with the drums.
Yeah.
Tell me about you and the drums. You know, no matter what you look at, the instrument started with the drums. That's the call you hear before you hear anything. That drum. Tell me a little bit about that, about your journey, what you bring to the table, and why you picked the drums.
Oh, so
We got time.
I started playing the drums young, and actually went and started playing guitar after that. Then Buddy Rich, the great Buddy Rich, came to my school and did a clinic,
Right.
and with the big band. And of course, he ripped off a 20-minute solo that just blew my mind, and got a chance to meet him afterwards. And from that day on, I wanted to be a drummer. And I grew up, I listened to Led Zeppelin, the Beatles, Rolling Stones, pretty much everybody that Bill named. And I just try to draw a little bit from every one of those drummers. And really, it just comes down to what I think I bring to the band is drive, power, attitude, and I try just to accompany the music the best I can without overplaying, and so once again, all my influences were very musical, very hard driving drummers, and those are the guys that I really looked up to. And I also love the prog rock drummers, and Neil Peart and Mike Portnoy, everybody. But I still, I love the guys that just that lay down and
What do you think about not the Led Zeppelin? What do you think about the Def Leppard drummer?
Oh, Rick Allen is amazing. I mean, he was an amazing drummer before he lost his arm, and still an amazing drummer. I gotta give it to him for drive. He's actually, every time I have an injury, because I play a lot of sports and lift weights, and I always go, you know what? If this guy could do it with one arm, I could do it with this injury. You know what I mean? That's the way Rick Allen is, believe it or not, is a huge influence because of that. I mean, that guy, I love that, somebody that keeps persisting and doing what he wants to do. He loves to play the drums, and that's what he kept doing. So I love that.
Miss Deborah Rowley.
Yes.
The queen of the voices. You guys saw something in her. I'm going off script a little bit. You guys saw something in Deborah. Before I asked Deborah the question, what was it about Deborah Rowley that you guys said, we got to have this talent?
Well, yeah, go ahead. She came to try out. It's a no-brainer. She came to try out, and we obviously picked her out of there's probably a few people that chose. But then once we get to the show, and I've seen Deborah in other bands. One other band. Should we bring up the name? Anyways, another band she plays in, and I was really interested in her because of her ability, not only vocal ability, but her ability to work a crowd. And she connects with everybody. That's a huge thing. You can have a great voice, but if you can't connect, it's just not there.
Right.
So that's my opinion. I mean, we're blown away. Still are.
Anybody else want to comment on why you guys got Deborah Rowley in the band?
I'll mention too, at audition again, she came in and she owned it, right? She came in and she said, this is the song we're gonna do, this is the way we're gonna do it. We tell you how we're gonna make it the better. And it's been going for a year plus. She's always trying to make us better musicians, because she's trying to be a better singer as well. You gotta let people like her.
Deborah.
Yeah.
Why Major Vice? You've been in bands before, you sung in bands. I talk to you pretty much off and on, and you always basically telling me about Major Vice and what a great time you having. Why Major Vice? What makes them the cup of tea for you?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that they're all willing and open to explore different kinds of genres. These are not cookie cutter musicians. They all have their own individual talent and their own level of creativity and their own level of risk that they're willing to take creatively. And for a singer, that's the sweet spot, because I don't want to just go in and do you know, hit me with your best shot like every other female lead in the area. You know, I want to go in and say, hey, what do you guys think about me singing a Metallica song? What are you guys thinking about throwing in Donna Summer into the mix? And they're all open and willing to it.
That is like too deep. Now, let me go to the next question. The next question for $500. Okay. It says, you must say a lot of things from the stage in the audience. Any funny stories?
There are a lot of nice stories on the stage. I think one of my favorites, we were at Saints and Scholars, not the most recent one, and we were playing indoors. And there were some drunk females that were very interested in the drummer, we'll just say, making the sexy eyes. And one of them did the splits on the dance floor and then fell over in the dance floor.
I missed that.
But did she spill your drink or something? It was good. And then she hopped right back up as if none of that happened and resumed her sexy eye contact. So
That's why he's the drummer. All right, our next question. You guys spend a lot of time together. I would imagine playing and rehearsing. Does it feel like it's a family, or does it just feel like it's work?
We do a lot of work, but it never feels that way ever. So yeah, we're friends outside of work. You know, we go and we hear other bands play together, not only because it gives us something fun to do, you know, outside of, you know, when we're rehearsing or playing shows, but also it's a learning opportunity for us too, when we can, you know, see what other bands are doing in the area. But yeah, that's one of the things that I love about this band is we do work very hard, but it never feels that way.
Now, I'm gonna go off script, Deborah, real quick before you.
Other thing I really like about this band is I feel like everybody has each other's backs. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
there's some drunk guys, you know, that can get a little bit too much. They're always there to look out for me, make sure I get to my car if I want them to. You know, it feels like kind of like sibling. You know, like I have that. You know, I can count on.
You guys have Deborah Rowley there. I know Deborah. So it's cool to know the good stuff. When have you guys actually got into it and say, enough? You got to have those moments. And what was that particular moment that you guys remember? Because believe me, everything is not peaches and cream. I know. I have a co-host.
Yeah, but mainly, you know, we will have a closed door conversation on a rehearsal night, and there hasn't really been, honestly, too many of those. Maybe twice this year we've sat down and just talked about who was maybe not focused on a particular song or a particular show. But yeah, that's a great question. But fortunately, we haven't really had any like knockdown, drag out kind of occurrences. And that, again, like Deborah said,
I don't think we've even raised our voices.
yeah.
You do know that Deborah's a therapist.
Yes, I do.
She's got us under the spell.
Yeah.
So
Nope.
I'm gonna ask the next question here. Prior to Deborah joining the band, you guys had male lead singers. How was it different for you guys to have a female lead singers versus having a male?
Good question.
Now, she didn't write all these questions by herself. I sent it to her and she kind of tweaked it a little bit.
I personally, I nothing really changed. Nothing really. It was terribly different. We had to change some songs, of course, just because of range and everything like that. But I don't know what you guys.
But overall, I think it actually widened the of our ability to do different songs. There are some songs that we don't do, like Mike said, but there's more songs that we've been able to add than we've not been able to do. So it's really widened our ability to do various
Now, that is a
genres.
good question. Deborah is a female lead singer, but what happens when you guys have a song that you need a male voice? Which one of you guys takes the mic?
All of them.
Well, first of all,
Except
there's
me.
no song that needs a male voice.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
This is, we have to change.
I knew that was
the key.
coming.
Yeah, we have to change the key.
Yeah, Deborah can pull off quite a bit of things.
Look, she hurry up and act like a lion on that one. Let me clear this up. I'll run this. Okay. Next question.
I'll
Here.
give you one follow up on that too. You'll like this one. So part of what she brings to the table again is a range we didn't have before.
Right.
We can the Journey and the Bon Jovi, which are very high male vocals. We were doing some Bon Jovi, and Deborah's like, that might be too high for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a push.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Okay. All right. Our next question. What advice would you give to a new band starting? That's really good. Because now, like, we see a lot of, like Deborah was saying, a lot of people can dub music, go online. It's really not that, I'm not even gonna say it's not creative, because it is creative. You gotta basically have open mind. But what is it like to start a band? And what would you recommend for people?
We could all. You guys know that?
There's a lot of answers to that question.
There's
Obviously, go see as many other bands as you possibly can. Look and listen to what they're doing, and play. Never. It doesn't matter if you. I've played shows for literally two people. My wife and the drummer's wife. We did an entire show as if there was 2,000 people there, and there was only two. And so I would say never miss an opportunity to play, because you're always going to be able to learn something from every event.
Now, you did say something.
Promote.
Yeah.
You did say something I thought was real interesting. I like how you said that. You went and did your homework. So you're going out and you're looking at other bands. What are you looking for when you're doing your scouting?
Well, obviously, we're looking to see what the crowd responds to, whether it's the song itself, a particular behavior that the people may have on stage, or the lighting. I mean, there's people. Their experience is not just what they're hearing, the vocals,
Right.
or the guitar riff. It's the whole package, So we're always trying to focus on what are we wearing, where is the light positioned, because you can always learn something from what somebody else is doing related to any of those things.
Another question. When you go there, what do you notice as far as mistakes that you see other bands making? What are some of the mistakes that you've seen over the years of bands doing that you said, we're not going to do that?
choosing wrong songs for the wrong type of songs for ability is the one I think, the one I notice a lot. Certain people shouldn't do certain songs. They can be great at a bunch of things, but that one song they're not, and it kind of lowers the whole evening of, it's like strong as your weakest link, songs being the links,
Yeah.
So
Let's stick with you with that question then. How do you guys do your recon? How do you know what you're going to play? Say, for instance, okay, you got to go tomorrow and go to Durham to a vineyard. Do you guys go into the vineyard ahead of time? What if it's the last call and you got to show up? How do you address that? How do you know what kind of crowd you're gonna be facing?
Peyton Manning audibles. We do it. And Deborah is usually in charge of that. You get an idea. You can just get an idea. We know beforehand if it's gonna be a rock club or if it's gonna be something a little older. If we could pull out the heavy stuff, I think. But we're getting into some new gigs where we're gonna have to really do some research, and you're probably have to go to the gig or go to the venue and ask some questions and see who's playing and look at their band list and listen to those bands online, see what they do.
Right.
I think one thing too that's important that we have the fortunate position to do because of the talent in this band. If I'm reading the crowd and I'm like, okay, like we just had this happen at the beach last week when we performed. I wanted to do a female song. I jumped out of the set list. I said, let's just do this song right now. And they all have the talent that they're like, okay, we'll just switch it up. We'll do it right now. And then we were able to sort of speak to the crowd in that moment.
What made you notice to switch that song up? What was it? What kind of signals were given to you that you saw it?
There were some single women that were trying to come out on the dance floor, and I knew that Shania Twain would bring them out. And so I said, Shania Twain.
And it did.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get my next question. We're almost done with the question and the answers. So, what is the best and the worst thing about being in a successful band? Heck, I can answer that question.
I mean, I don't totally get the best thing about it is that, you know, we get to get on stage and do what brings us joy and bring joy to people who are watching us. I mean, there's not very many people that get to say that they can do that.
Okay. Anybody else want to comment on that?
Yeah, one of the challenges about being in a successful band is that we oftentimes have to pick and choose between opportunities, and we have to turn down some shows that we would like to do because we can't obviously be everywhere all the time. And so we unfortunately have to turn down some good opportunities, but that's a blessing to have that type of problem.
Okay, let's go with our last and final question of the day. Do you have any rituals before the gig? Question mark. What are they? And what do you think about the current state of music? That's a double jeopardy question.
I have a warm-up ritual, of course. I go in my truck. Everybody probably wonder what I'm doing, but I'm 58 next month, or this month actually, 2 weeks, and I got to get warmed up. It's my thing, and I do a deep breathing kind of meditation thing before I go on stage, where you breathe deep, 10, 15, 20 times, and just to relax, so I don't feel any kind of stress or fear or anything, and this is for me.
Okay.
I think my more ritual includes making sure the wires are plugged in because something's not going to work somewhere. You got to run around the stage for about 10 minutes trying to figure out why.
Okay. The next two, y'all got to have rituals.
Like Bill, just double check the connections, make sure the iPad is working correctly and the pedals are working, the volume is set properly on the keyboards and that sort of thing. And also, like Mike, just get my mind in the proper frame that I'm about to go on stage and have a blast.
I like that kind of ritual.
Yeah.
The owner, what's your ritual?
I always make it a point to try to meet and greet some of the crowd or fans, friends that are there beforehand. Deborah's really good about doing that throughout the night. I usually do that at the beginning and the end of the night, and not so much if we're on a break or nothing. So I always want to do that at the start of the show.
Miss Riley.
I think for me, it's more about getting my vocals ready. As I don't, eat any dairy. I try to drink some tea. I try to not talk very much on the day that I have a show. And then definitely when I get to the show, the first thing I do is to look around to see if there's anybody at the show that's a regular people that come or a friend, so that I can say hi. And then try to get up and connect with the band and see what needs to get done. In terms of your second question, in terms of the state of the music, I think music is always a reflection of what's going on in the world. And I think right now, a lot of people are wanting nostalgia. We're losing a lot of great artists like Jimmy Buffett and Tina Turner. People are requesting those kind of music more. People are, brings us, when we have so much stress in the world like we have right now, I think that grabbing on to some things like rock and roll or dance music that brings us happiness, people are drawn to it. And I think that that's one of the reasons we have a thriving live music community around here.
How can the viewers find you guys, support you guys, listen to your music? How can they find you guys?
Well, there's multiple ways, as you're aware, there's all kinds of social media out there. We do have a website. It's not very good. We need to hire somebody probably to manage that. Our Facebook page is by far our number one way of connecting with us.
What's the name of your Facebook page?
Major Vice.
Yeah, Major
People can
Vice.
also connect with me in my individual Instagram because I always have all of our shows, and then on all of our individual Facebook pages, we also have our shows posted.
Where do you guys perform the most at if people want to come out and actually listen to you guys in the North Carolina area? Where do you guys usually play at the most?
A particular venue?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Max Tavern in Cary. It's been kind of our home base bar for about a decade. We play there about every other month. We try not to overplay in a particular venue. You know, we don't want to wear out our welcome or bore the crowd. But we play every other month like clockwork at Max for the last 10 years. So
Before we wrap up, I want each one of you individuals to leave a word of beast frame of mind for the individuals.
I think when I think of beast frame of mind, I think of, I guess what brings to mind is that if there's any young singers out there or people even later in life wondering if it's too late, just go for it. You know, if music is in your heart or music is something you enjoy, we only get one life. You might as well go for it.
I like that. Next.
I'm going to echo what Victor Wooten says, and that is play loud, play hard. There is no such thing as a wrong note.
I like him. Next.
My mother told me one time about taking opportunity. If you don't, you'll wish you had.
Man, that's deep. I like that. Yeah. Okay.
So just make sure you follow your passion. If it's something you love to do, don't worry about if people like it or if you'll make money or can make a living. Do it. Fulfill your passion, your vision.
I like that. Last but not least, the man with the sticks in his hand, the drum.
Work hard and play hard.
That sounds like one. Hey, I like that. Guys, check this out. I'm greatly honored that you guys took the day to come and share your story with the Andre the Beast Creighton Show. I want my viewers to follow you guys, Major Vice, North Carolina area. You guys need to subscribe, like, share, the whole 9 yards. Support what everybody's trying to do. They're trying to bring peace, harmony through the love of music. And I'm glad that you guys were here to share that with me. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another exciting episode of the Andre the Beast Creighton.
Thank you.